Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your weekend. We also have your boredom busters coming up, but first, our top story. Police say cocaine trafficking is not a significant drug issue in Sioux Falls, despite this week's big drug bust. On Tuesday night, authorities confiscated 62 pounds of the illegal drug from a van near 12th and Kiwanis. Two men from Texas are behind bars accused of bringing the cocaine to South Dakota.
You know, marijuana, meth, even prescription pills, and we're starting to see more fentanyl. Those are the bigger ones. Cocaine is, I want to say it's been there, we've seen it, but it hasn't been one of those more commonly seen drugs.
The investigation that led to this drug bust started last year and is still ongoing. A South Dakota lawmaker whose name appeared on a list of members of the Oath Keepers says he no longer is affiliated with the organization. State Senator Jim Stalzer says he joined the group years ago after one of the directors of the group spoke in Sioux Falls. Stalzer says at the time they sounded like the type of organization that would peacefully work for change, but he says he lost interest once the group got confrontational. Oath Keepers were part of the uprising at the U.S. Capitol in January. Stalzer says he believes as a veteran and as a citizen that our rights under the Constitution need to be defended.
But they need to be defended in an adult manner and peacefully and not with violence, which Oath Keeper seems to have taken that turn, and I just can't support that.
Stalzer says he doesn't even receive emails from the group anymore. Now, the name of South Dakota State Representative Phil Jensen of Rapid City also showed up on the list of alleged members of the Oath Keepers. We reached out to Jensen earlier this week, but never heard back from him. A Sioux Falls author hopes his new coloring book will inspire members of Congress to stay within the lines when it comes to spending taxpayer money. Steve Hummel got the idea for Trillion Boy after he and his 7-year-old son were watching Congress debate the now $2 trillion budget deficit. After his son Kyle asked him how much $1 trillion was, Hummel started crunching some numbers and put it into perspective using some colorful calculations.
It's geared towards both children, of course, for the coloring aspect of it and the reading and kind of understanding the number. But it's also geared, I think, to adults.
According to the coloring book, if you started counting to 1 trillion, it would take you over 31,000 years to get to that number. Hummel says his coloring book is a message to members of Congress to think about how much money they're proposing to spend. Let's get our first look at the forecast now with meteorologist Brian Karstens in the Storm Center. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Perry. Good morning, everybody. We've got some rain on the way this weekend. A closer look at Sunday's rain projections right now. Looks like Sioux Falls area could be in line for up to 1/4 inch of rain. I think 1/10 to 1/4 looks to be pretty reasonable. The heavier amounts on Sunday, northwest Iowa. We're going to detail futurecast coming up shortly. Highs today, 53 Sioux Falls as clouds increase after a frosty start. 51 Aberdeen, 54 in Pierre, gusty southeast wind, and close to 60 in Rapid City. I'll have futurecast and the 7-day in just a moment.
All right, thank you very much, Brian. Well, Kids Against Hunger has resumed its mission of feeding hungry people around the globe, and volunteers now have a new place to prepare the food. Kids Against Hunger is hosting an open house today at its new packing center located at 26th and Marion. The nonprofit has packed nearly 9 million meals through the years. The pandemic shut down operations until this month when volunteers started packing meals once again.
We've had people calling all the time wanting to pack, but it was difficult to try and do it safely because we are in groups packing. But there's been an enthusiastic response, and we're scheduling groups right now.
The new packing center is located in a former tanning salon. The Kids Against Hunger open house is taking place at 1710 South Marion Road in Sioux Falls. Everyone is invited to pack some food, sample their new domestic meal, and learn how to help feed the hungry from 9 a.m. to noon. Admission is free. Enjoy the excitement of fast-paced rodeo action at the W.H. Line Fairgrounds in Sioux Falls. The South Dakota Rodeo Association finals include a cowboy Christmas trade show starting at 9 a.m. The high school extravaganza is at 11 a.m. It's Special Olympics night at the rodeo with the main performance starting at 7 p.m. Admission is $10, free for children 6 and under. Zoo Boo is a non-scary Halloween event for children at the Great Plains Zoo in Sioux Falls. Hundreds of painted and carved pumpkins will be on display. Plus, take a ride on the Creepy Carousel. The hours are from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Today is also Sensory Saturday, which is exclusively for kids with sensory needs from 9 to 10 this morning. Visitors to Big Sioux Recreation Area in Brandon are invited to dress in their favorite costumes and take a Halloween hike along the trick-or-treat trails. Take the Reflector Challenge by finding as many reflecting signs hidden along the trail. The event goes from 5 to 8 p.m. Schulte Subaru on South Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls is hosting a free trick-or-treat drive-through. The hours are from 5 to 10 p.m. Cop on a Rooftop is a fundraiser for Special Olympics South Dakota. Law enforcement officers will stand on top of the high V's located on Minnesota Avenue and at 26th and Marion, asking for donations from customers so they can get off the roof. The officers will be using a megaphone so they don't have to shout from the rooftops. Brian?
All right, weather today, well, thickening clouds as you're outside, but I don't expect any rain here today yet. As we look at those temperatures, 30s for the start. We're into the 50s for the vast majority this afternoon, although the far northeastern corner of South Dakota will stay in the upper 40s near Watertown to Sisseton. Notice our shower chances. They're starting to pop up in the Black Hills this evening. We'll run some shower chances north of Rapid City through daybreak tomorrow. I do think Pierre and Chamberlain could still get involved with some of this, but there seems to be a better linkage of rain developing from Aberdeen to Sioux Falls late tomorrow morning. See that into Sunday afternoon. That's, yeah, a cool, steady rain, and certainly you might think twice about planning things outside tomorrow afternoon, at least in eastern KELOLAND. West River, you're going to have a nice break and some sunshine for the late afternoon in Rapid City. I do expect that system to pull away quickly into Monday, and behind that we'll carve out some drier weather for early next week. Highs today, 53 Mitchell, 55 in Yankton, and 48 degrees in Sisseton. Tonight, with the onset of those shower chances, lows in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Now, the winds will be about 10 to 20 out of the east for Sioux Falls, and then we're going to keep that wind going tomorrow. And it's going to be blustery with the incorporation of shower chances. Only 45 Mitchell, Sioux Falls area, 43 for high in Brookings. Let's kick up the temperature a little bit on Monday. 53 for high, close to 60 Tuesday in advance of the next frontal system coming in Wednesday, Thursday, and that will bring rain chances to a large segment of KELOLAND. Not necessarily all of it being widespread, but at least some of the showers around. I do expect areas of rain on Wednesday for Aberdeen, high of 53 there. And for Pierre and central South Dakota, upper 50s and low 60s early next week, and maybe some more showers here by Wednesday. Let's take a look at Rapid City, too. Shower chances Sunday and again on Tuesday. So we'll keep watching all of that next week. Find out more coverage. We've got a Storm Center update right now online at KELOLAND.com. Have yourself a great weekend.